Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Joshua Casper. I'm here with Plugin Boutique, and today we're taking a look at NOVO by Heavyocity. Specifically, we're going to look at using the loop designer to create some cinematic hip-hop vibes. So that's the track that I have, and it is actually really easy to make. If you look inside of Ableton, I only have 3 tracks. I've got a drum loop, a subby bass hit. Those things by themselves sound like this. Pretty simple stuff. And if you look at the MIDI from the NOVO channel, you'll see that it's quite simple. There's really not a lot going on. If I fold it down, I've just got individual MIDI notes triggering samples from the NOVO sample library. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So let's go ahead and open back up NOVO. This is the loop designer instrument that comes with NOVO. And the main focus of the designer is the designer page, where we can trigger 3 of the samples using 1 MIDI key. So if I come in and just trigger any one of these keys, C1 through B1, when I hit this note right here, it actually plays 3 different samples, and you can see them highlighted right here in the sample banks. Now, we can choose what type of samples are being triggered in each one of them, and we obviously have our volume, panning, and tuning options for each. And it's actually quite simple to change which of the 3 samples are being triggered just by clicking inside of any one of these keyboards. So that's one way to use the designer, to make really complex loops by combining 3 of the expertly crafted loops that ship with NOVO. But what I did in the hip hop beat was something a little bit different. If we look at the keyboard inside of Contact, it's a little bit cut off here by my screen, but you can see that there are highlighted areas. The orange area actually corresponds to the higher frequency loops. The dark green corresponds to the mid-frequency loops, and the lighter green corresponds to the low-frequency groups. And we obviously can change which banks are a part of those groups by just moving the bank right here. Obviously, we can go low, mid, and high. If we wanted to go all high, we could do that. But I'd like to have it low, mids, and highs just so we can make this hip-hop beat work really well. And when I come into the MIDI here, we can actually see that everything in the 2 range, so if I come up C2 to B2, are going to be low frequency loops. If I go ahead and solo this. And if I want to change any of those, I can just click and move up. So let's say I wanted to keep that, but move this one up here. And maybe change up this. And keep in mind, they're not always going to work right, especially the way I'm doing it here. It's not really intended to be played this way, but you know, why not think outside the box? So let's see that, actually bring the loop over here. And we can change the high. Again, that all the high loops are going to be between C4 and B4. So anything in between here are going to be a different set of high frequency loops. Change this one here and move this one to E4. And now if we go ahead and play it with the drums and bass. So I don't really like this one, But let's try out one of those midsection. And again, the mid frequency range is going to be from C3 to B3. Just come up, see what this sounds like. And you know what, let's check this over here and move this over here. And when you're going to be producing like this, it's going to be a lot of trial and error, hit and miss type stuff. As you can see right now, the way I'm doing it, I'm just kind of free throwing. But I think the fact that the quality of the samples inside of Novo just make it so easy to get really great sounding stuff. So I really like that mid and high fill at the end, but let's just go back like this. And maybe okay, so that's really great. The next thing I want to draw your attention to is this little MIDI note down here. This is the tuning MIDI note. So if I take this and actually bring it up, we're going to get a higher pitch from all of the loops coming out of Novo. And again, if I bring it down, we'll get even lower pitches. Let's go to F1. So we could actually do something really fun here, and I really like the way this sounds. So if we bring this up to F, and then go back over here and actually duplicate that, let's see what this sounds like. And that sounds really hot. So it's really kind of important to remember that using these MIDI notes, I think it's C1 to B0 will control the pitch. So you essentially have 2 octaves of pitch control when you're using the loops from Novo. That's actually much better than the example I had in the beginning. I'm really feeling it. Let's jump back into Novo and check out the loop designer a little bit more. So if we wanted to change any of the banks in the low, mid, and high section, we can do that by clicking the drop-down menu here. And right now I've got low motif, but maybe I wanted low rhythmic. Let's see what that does to the beat that we have. Are you kidding me? That, oh my God, it's so dope. I'm so excited right now. I didn't even plan it to turn out this well. I can almost listen to that all day. So, I mean, this is how easy it is to get grooving with some of these loops inside of the loop designer. I mean, I've just made one small change. I got a whole new bank, and just the same simple MIDI note pattern that I had is creating a whole different feel, but just still really epic sound. It's just, my mind is blown with this Novo. Let's check out, instead of mid ambient, let's check out mid rhythm as well, mid rhythmic. And remember, the mid rhythmic is only at the end, that last fill. So let's go high. High's already on rhythmic. Let's check out high motif. Oh my goodness, it's just so dope. It's just so easy to get crazy good sounds out of this thing. However, that's where I'm going to stop this tutorial for right now, just to show you how easy it is to get grooving with the loop designer. I'm going to be putting out a lot more tutorials, so expect those to come soon. I hope you learned something. We'll see you next time.